Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Phyllis Hyena, and today I want to talk about my Sammo Hung DVDs. Sammo Hung is was a big time director. He's still active, but he was a big time director in Hong Kong during the 70s and 80s. And him, Lau Ka Long, and Young Wu Ping were pretty much the three biggest names when it came to producing and directing classic kung fu films. So if you did not know about Sammo Hung, maybe you heard of him if you're in the West from his hit TV series Martial Law. But obviously for kung fu fan or just a fan of action cinema in general, everybody should know Sammo Hung. Like you can see, he is not the fittest, or doesn't look like Jackie Chan or Bruce Lee. He is a bit overweight, but he is still very skilled and very fast. I call him the fastest fat man in the world, so you can imagine. And he did a lot of great films. The film I've just shown are films from random company. I will finish my video with all of his Hong Kong Legend releases. Hong Kong Legend, guys, is a UK label that sadly went out of business in the early 2000s, and they were really renowned for releasing truly remastered sound and picture kung fu film, old kung fu film and action Hong Kong film, and they had a lot of very nice special features, and some of their edition had a whole disc, a whole DVD of special features. So they are really worth tracking, and some of them are becoming really rare. So let's begin. Just before we start, another cool fact: Sammo Hung is a bit more intense than Jackie Chan, because those two are related. Obviously, they trained together at the Peking Opera School when they were pretty young, and Sammo was renowned for his fighting skill. And he's a big man, and when you see him fight, he tend to show a lot more power in his movement than let's say Jackie Chan. But what's funny about that is that when Sammo Hung directs a Jackie Chan film, like for example here in Project A, this is the Platinum 2-disc over 4 hours special features edition of Project A, and also those two Wheels of Meals, same thing. While those three films, and the other one is Dragons Forever, when you see Jackie Chan fight, because Sammo Hung directs him in those films, his action scenes are much more intense than than when Jackie Chan is directing and producing the movie, because obviously a lot of the time his character is a happy-go-lucky type of guy, but when he is directed by Sammo Hung, his older brother, he tends to be more direct, more intense, more I would say like Bruce Lee like. Obviously not, it's hard to say, but I mean, because Jackie Chan is a very talented and skillful person. Sammo Hung uses all of that potential to his fullest, and when Jackie fights, he does not fool around. He's much more direct, and that's always fun to watch, because Jackie Chan can be very credible as a kick-ass and fresh martial artist, So because in a lot of his films, like I said, he's the underdog and happy-go-lucky type of character, but in those films Jackie Chan is very intense, and his fighting skill and fighting against other people is very serious, and that's fun to watch. So those were his three films, one of the three films where Jackie Chan and Sammo Hung played together, and all those three films Sammo Hung directs. So those three are Hong Kong Legend related. So let's begin. One of the best kung fu film of all time, Magnificent Butcher. It was directed by Young Wu Ping, right after Drunken Master 1 with Jackie Chan. This was released in 1980, probably shot in 79. And this here is a good version of the movie. It is an American, releases. released. It is made by 20th Century Fox, and there's no special features, but the picture quality and audio quality is excellent. It's out of print right now, and it is becoming very rare on to buy, and if it's there to buy, it's pretty expensive. So an old-time kung fu classic, Magnificent Butcher. Sammo Hung also obviously plays the lead role, and it is directed by Yang Wu-ping. An older movie from Sammo Hung, again, a good version of that film, Eastern Condor. It's a war movie. A lot of Hong Kong superstars were in that film, so a pretty good film. Enter the Fat Dragon, not his best kung fu film, but I would rate this one 7 out of 10. It's a comedy kung fu, and obviously it tried to copies a bit. It copies Enter the Dragon with Bruce Lee. Pay the Cab Driver. This is an excellent film released in 1989. A cool fact about this film is there's a fight scene between Sammo Hung and Lau Kar-long. Lau Kar-long was the biggest director at the Shaw Brothers at the time, and he was also an actor like Sammo Hung, and the two are martial art masters. And when they fight together in that movie, and the scene is incredible. Now this is a cool one, guys. The Victim, an old-time classic kung fu film, starring Sammo Hung, directed by Sammo Hung, and also starring Long Kar-yang. Long Kar-yang, guys, aka Beardy, who also plays in such famous kung fu film like The Thundering Mantis and The Sleeping Fist. I have those, by the way, and I will probably show you guys in another video those films. So a pretty cool film, old-time classic kung fu film, released in the 70s. Very nice. Alright, so let's finish my video with my Hong Kong Legend releases. This is probably on everybody's top 5 all-time kung fu classic film. The Prodigal Son, starring Yong Biao, Sammo Hung, and obviously directed by Sammo Hung. A Wing Chun story. A very nicely written story with incredible pace, incredible training sequence and action. Very, very nice. Highly recommended, especially this version. Encounter of the Spooky Kind. The kung fu horror genre was very popular in Hong Kong at the time, in the 70s and 80s, and this film is no exception. Directed by Sammo Hung and played by Sammo Hung. It deals with black and white magic kung fu, so a lot of great sequence in that film. Again, try to find the Hong Kong Legend label, guys. This label is one of the best out there. Another one, pretty good one, Millionaire's Express. The story in that one is like 6 out of 5, but the action, especially at the end, there's a 20-minute fight scene at the end, pretty incredible. So starring Yong Biao and probably all the Hong Kong superstar from the 80s were in that film, except Jackie Chan. One of my favorite kung fu film of all time, Knockabout, directed by Sammo Hung and starring Yong Biao. It's probably my favorite Yong Biao film. Yong Biao, guys, for those if you don't know Yong Biao, he is the youngest brother of the Peking Opera. Sammo Hung was the older, Jackie Chan was in the middle, and Yong Biao was the third one. Those three, they're not real life brother, but they are called brother because they train and live together at the Peking Opera. So, and he is a highly skilled martial artist, especially in gymnastic and acrobatic movements. So. Again, very nice film. It stars Lau Kar-wing, the guy here, if you can see the old master, and Lau Kar-wing is the real-life brother of Lau Kar-long. Lau Kar-long, again, is one of the biggest acting and directing star of the Shaw Brothers at the time. So again, a highly skilled person. Skinny Tiger, Fatty Dragon, I would rate this one 7.5 out of 10. It's not his best Hong Kong Legend releases, but a good Sammo Hung flick. So again, lots of special features. I think it's a cop movie, more of a cop movie, and it's been a long time since I saw this one, but like I said, the action's not always excellent, but the story is not the best. This one is incredible, The Odd Couple. Again, Lau Kar-wing and Sammo Hung, those two are two martial art masters. Lau Kar-wing is the brother, real-life brother of Lau Kar-long. Lau Kar-long was the biggest director at the Shaw Brothers. He made movies like The 36 Chambers of Shaolin, 8 Diagram Pole Fighter, and much more. And in this film is considered one of the best kung fu films, especially when it comes to weapon. There's the pole fighting style against the sword style. Pretty cool film. One of the top 5 kung fu film of all time, guys. Warriors 2 with Prodigal Son, pretty much the best Wing Chun film, starring Casanova Wong, a Korean kicker, and again starring also Sammo Hung and Beardy. Beardy is the guy from the Thundering Mantis. Very nice film, incredible action sequence and training sequence, very good. And the last Hong Kong Legend movie, and not the least, his directional debut, Iron Fisted Monk, starring Sammo Hung and directed by Sammo Hung himself. Old-time classic kung fu film, early mid-70s. So very good film also. So hope you like it, guys. In those 3 piles are some of the best action and kung fu film of all time. So if you did not know those films existed, trust me, guys, try to find them. They are excellent film, excellent find. Alright, hope you enjoyed. Keep in shape.